guys, it has been a while actually since I've done a live. There's been a lot going on. I've been really busy lately doing a lot of traveling and stuff. That's why I haven't really gotten a video out to you guys. But first, I just want to give you guys like a update on the book, right? So I think it was last week, so like last Monday or so, I heard back. Well, actually, I got my first edits back of the book, so I'm really excited about that. And so basically, I got had a book edited before, or a piece of work edited before, but this one was kind of different how they went about it. Like the first time I had it done was like they basically did the corrections, like they just went through and did the changes. And I didn't necessarily love that way because of the fact that, like, for some things, like, oh, you misspell a word or there's an extra space or whatever, that stuff is like, go ahead and do it, like, just change it, you know. But then for some things, it was kind of like, oh, you misinterpreted what I meant in that sentence or in that paragraph or whatever, and so they might make a change that was based off that misunderstanding, and then kind of like, wait, I now have to go back and fix all of this to really get the actual point across. And so I previously had the book edited that way, and it was fine. It was only like $30, so it wasn't like a big deal or anything. But then, you know, through the publishing people, they edited it themselves, and so I got my first revisions back basically. But the way they did it where they kind of just had in the comment section, like, did you mean this, or like basically like, oh, you could change this or delete this or misspell, but they didn't change anything. They left everything exactly the same, but then they had in like the comments, you know, stuff for me to change. And at first I was like, because I've been waiting for this for a while. I started this process, I want to say July, or was it June? It was in July. So I started the actual editing part in July, like mid-July. So it's been about a month. And so I was really, you know, anxious to get those edits back. But then when I got back, it was just like, oh, crap. Because, like, one of the first things, it was like, oh, you might want to rewrite your whole introduction. And I was like, oh, wow. Like, it's legit, like, stuff like that on that level. And, like, part of me is still wrestling with whether or not, like, for some of the things, like, do I want to change this or do I not want to change this? Am I getting too far away from what the original book that God gave me? Or will this make this book more readable? Because, like, it's hard, particularly in the sense where, because I wrote something that I actually lived out. Like, some things is like I assume you guys will understand or know just because, like, I get it. But it's like, well, of course you get it. You lived it. So, of course, you don't have to explain everything to yourself. But when you're retelling something, like, you know, it's best to, like, make it as plain as possible, basically. But, yeah, that's where we are right now. I'm hoping to get those edits done this week, possibly, and then send it back and then see what happens from there. There's a website component. And so, like, that's what the pictures were for, was for the website. And so, like, I gave them kind of just like the basics of this is what I kind of want. I made like a move. I do a little extra. I always do a little extra because, you know. And so I made them an entire mood board. So then that way they'd be like, they could really know. Because they was asking questions. It's like, it'd be better for me to just show you exactly what I want as opposed to like answering all these questions. It was like style. Do you want masculine? Do you want feminine? Do you want this, and this, abstract, or whatever? And it's like, I don't know what you want to call it, but I can show you the things that I want specifically or the feel. So that's where we are with the book stuff. So I think right now we're still on target for the whole November 2nd launch day. So I'm really excited about that. So that was pretty much the beginning of last week. And then the end, so end of last week, like Wednesday through Saturday, basically Dr. Faith had her spiritual development conference. So it's kind of like the second part of her Fivefold / School of Prophets conference. So the last couple of years, I don't know exactly how long she's been doing it, but she's been having this School of Prophets and Fivefold School. So the Fivefold is like the Fivefold ministry. So it's like the office of evangelism, office of a pastor, office of a prophet, the office of apostle, and then the office of a prophet. So the first 3 days, she does the office of evangelist, pastor, apostle, and teacher. Those are the first 3. And then the last, I think, 3 or 4 days, she does the School of the Prophet. So just focus strictly on the prophet. So last year, I went to the Fivefold School, which was the evangelism and all those other offices. And so I really learned a lot. It was really good because of the fact that it gave me languaging and helped me describe, specifically, okay, this is what I am. This is like kind of the role I play or whatever. And so that was really awesome. And so this year, I originally hadn't intended on going because I wasn't going to go back to the fivefold school because I already went through that. And I wasn't really sure about the whole office of a prophet fight thing because I was still kind of wrestling with that whole, are you a prophet? Do you have the office of a prophet, or can you just prophesy? Just because you're filled with the Holy Spirit. And so I was just like, I don't necessarily want to spend, because it's a nice amount of money. It's not actually, she really could charge more, to be honest, but just for as many other conferences that I was going to this year, it's like, okay, I wouldn't necessarily want to spend money on the School of a Prophet just yet, just because I had other conferences that were more in line with where I know God is leading me. But then she advertised this whole spiritual development school, and basically there was like, and so I decided to go to that because it was like spiritual warfare, it was like dream interpretation, it was like intercessory prayer, it was miracles, like literally signs and miracles, like a healing. And so it was just like developing you in all these other areas where you don't necessarily have to be in the fivefold at all. You could just be a Christian and you could get developed in those different areas. So like, I really enjoyed that conference. I just want to encourage you guys, like, you really have to invest. And literally one of the speakers said this, like, she said that she had to invest in herself. She couldn't just wait around for someone to offer something to her or give her something, or even, because like a lot of times we're in like organizations or churches or whatever, and depending on what your role is, you might expect for like your pastor to basically give you everything, to train you on everything, and make sure that you're reach the level that you're supposed to reach, or where God wants you to be. But the realization is like, he's your pastor, so he has to look out for all of the sheep in the church, and he has to make sure that y'all are good. Like that's his main focus is that your soul is good. Like make sure that part is good, and then all the other stuff comes after that. But like his main focus isn't that, of course he wants you to be developed spiritually, but like part of that, you have to take some responsibility in that. You have to put some, invest in that yourself. Like he will lead you to the right direction and make sure you grow. As far as being word-based, at least they should help you grow in the word and all that kind of stuff. But their main focus is to make sure you're saved, make sure that your soul is good, make sure you're prospering in those particular areas, not specifically making sure that you can do miracles. Like that's probably not high on your pastor's list, that you can, make miracles happen. And that's okay. Like you just have to go do it yourself. And so like even when the speaker said like invest in yourself, like she had to invest in herself. And like that's what I've been doing like the last 2 years now, like really focusing on different conferences that will help grow me in different areas and help me get exposure to different areas. So then that way I'm growing spiritually. And so like there's one session on intercessory prayer. And last year when I went to the fivefold school, God kind of just revealed to me that, and he's revealed to me, like confirmed it through other people since then, like the whole being an intercessor, like really praying on the behalf of others. And so like I kind of knew that, and like I kind of sort of like I know, okay, you pray for someone else, you're not just praying for yourself, but like really like there's a deeper level to that, and I didn't really recognize it. And like, or at least it was like, because I know I'm supposed to pray for people, but I'm like, okay, well, I'm specifically supposed to pray for it, unless they actually told me. And then like one of the speakers who did that session kind of taught us how to go about that, or how to take one thing and go from there, and how to pray prophetically. A lot of it had to do with the prophetic, which was really cool. That's not something I had really done that much with, or even really tapped into that much. And so then there was another area that was kind of on, it was actually on miracles, but like the thing with the prophetic, it's like you make what you say, it becomes reality, basically. That's how, like, that's a type of, like, I won't say a type of prophecy, but it's like you can bring the future, what's to come, into the present by declaring a thing. Like you declare the thing, so will it be. And so like you can use your words and like make things manifest on the earth, it's really cool. And so the thing is, like, I used to think like you had to be like super anointed or had the gift of like miracles, have the gift of faith, plus be a prophet and, whatever else, just to do these things. And literally, when the girls, she went up, they was doing the one that they decided to do for the miracles, was like mostly healing ones. So that's something you can see like right in the moment, right? And so they asked, hey, does somebody want to come up? The girl came up, and she then they was like, okay, who has like a pain somewhere or something? And one girl said, well, my elbow's been like hurting on and off for like some time now or whatever. And so they brought the girl up, and then basically she just commanded the pain to go, like in the name of Jesus. So it wasn't like no long prayer where you had to call all the names of God that deal with healing or anything like that, or cast anything down or anything like that. What she did, she's like, in the name of Jesus, pain go. And that was it. And so it's kind of cool just seeing that, it doesn't really take all that. Like you just have, the thing is, we have, as sons and daughters of God, we have authority that we can be able to do those things. We can like command things to happen. Like that's just our God-given gift. Like you don't have to be like anything extra or anything like that. It's just like, no, that's something that's yours. Like it's already yours. It's already in our inheritance. And so what's cool about that is just you can just command a thing and it'll be. And so she said, in the name of Jesus, I command that pain to go. And the way they do it is like before they have her pray, they asked the girl, okay, what's your pain level from 1 to 10? She was like, oh, it's a 4. So it's not like it was horrible or anything like that. She's like, it's about a 4. And so then she commanded the pain to go, and they asked her again. She's like, oh, it's about a 3. And so then they commanded it again. And it showed me a lot of things. One, it showed me like not to be discouraged if like it doesn't go away immediately or doesn't stop immediately. Like, and one of the things I've learned about healing in particular, that's one you have to kind of sort of be persistent about. Hi, Milo. Come on, buddy. This is Milo, guys. It's fine. This is Milo. If y'all was wondering, this is him. So anyways, and so you have to be, that's when you kind of have to be persistent with. You don't like give up like the first time and nothing happens. Just pray again. It's cool. It's not a big deal. And she's like, oh, it's a 3. And so she commanded it. But this time she got specific. She commanded the pain to go from a 3 to a 0. And then she prayed it. The girl was like, yo, my arm, like she was like, I literally don't feel any pain. And it's like, everybody was like, whoa, what? We're all happy, right? And then the guy who was kind of helping instruct the moment, he was like, okay, like talking to the first girl, he was like, okay, have you ever done this before? She was like, no, I've never done anything like this before. But all she did was just walk in the authority that she already had. So I was like, man, that's super dope. And then they healed someone. Actually, they healed a couple more people in that session. And it was based off that same thing. I just commanded that pain to go away. So like, if you have anything in your body that's like hurting, that is like not right, that's just not, even if it's not a big pain, because literally hers was at a 4. So it's not like it was hurting her that much badly, but like speak to that thing and command that pain to go in the name of Jesus. And just believe in faith, like just walk in that authority and watch that pain go away. And then another thing was, because this is something I've been a little worried about and why I haven't really like stepped out into that whole miracles, healing and all that stuff. It was like, well, what if it comes back? Like what happened? Like, oh, I don't know. And the guy was like, it's almost like he already knew what we might be afraid of or whatever. He was like, and if the pain comes back, because sometimes people will write him, like they go out, him and his wife, they go out everywhere and they just heal people. I think they're missionaries as well, but they just go out healing people and they see some amazing stuff. But sometimes people will write them saying, oh, hey, the pain came back. And so he was like, if the pain comes back, that's just the enemy. So recognize it's just the enemy and declare your healing. Declare, oh, I'm healed in the name of Jesus. And there was like, people do that and literally the pain never comes back. So I thought that was super, super awesome. So just be able to get those practical, this is how you do it, Because sometimes when you're talking about the spiritual stuff, like it gets really like they say a lot of fluff, so a lot of analogies, a lot of like story parables, all that kind of stuff. Like sometimes I just need, like I like to be very direct. I'm very direct. Tell me, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3. All right, tell me that. And then we'll go from there. And like they were giving us those practical steps. So I just want to encourage you guys, like in this season that you're in right now or next season, like really start looking for opportunities to grow. Like start following different people. Like, so like people I follow Dr. Faith. She's really good. I'm going to mess her last name up because I just don't know what her last name is. And I keep trying and it's still not right. It's Jennifer Eivaz or Ivis or something, but Eivaz. I don't know what that says, but she's really, really good. I follow Tiffany Montgomery. I follow, those are probably about the main 3 people I follow. So Dr. Faith, welcome, Tiffany Montgomery, and Jennifer. Last name might be Eivaz or Ivis. I don't really know. But they have been really good. And the thing is that they all do like Facebook Lives or Instagram Lives or Periscopes where they're giving you content for free. And so like investing in yourself might mean just you taking out the time. Like invest time to watch that one live that's about healing or miracles or wherever you want to go in. And they all, well, no, 2 of them, Tiffany Montgomery doesn't have a book on Christian stuff yet, but the other two definitely do have stuff. So like, and then like, cause that's what the second thing I did. First I was watching them like on YouTube or Periscope or whatever, and then I started buying some of their books. And then I got to a point where I wanted to learn more. I started investing in their conferences. So it's just like, start small. Start with the free, where like literally they have free teaching, or find whoever you're interested in and see if they have stuff already online that's for free, you know. And then as you want to learn more, you can start to invest as far as money, like buying books or going to conferences. But I can promise you, like, make that investment to go to a conference. It's like the atmosphere is so much different where things happen and happen quickly. It's like you get an impartation. And so like I was able to prophesy to like people, like complete strangers. I knew nothing about them. And like I was just ready to step out. It was like God would give me one thing, and from there I would just start prophesying all this stuff. And like I never prophesied at that level ever. Like at most I would get one word, one phrase, and that would be it. But like that this past weekend I was getting like all this stuff. Like you're this, and you're this, like words of knowledge, and then words of wisdom, and then this is what's going to happen in the future. Like it was so dope. So like being around those people, being in that atmosphere is like really, really helpful. So it'll help you advance a lot more quickly. Not to say you can't do it from reading books, but you totally can do it from reading books. You can totally do it from watching like the videos online. But being there in that space does something completely different. So yeah, I just want to encourage you guys to like really go for it and like just take baby steps. Like this isn't like all this prophecy and healing stuff. Like I've built up to this. It's not like something I just decided to do. So like if you're not there, that's cool. But like start making those steps. Start just like researching it. Or just reading the Bible. What does the Bible say about healing? Or what does the Bible say about miracles or whatever? Or whatever the thing that you want to grow in. And like start looking for people who teach on those different things. And just start building up your faith that if they can do it, then surely you can do it too. So that is all that's going on right now. I have a really busy week this week because I have a work thing like half of the week or whatever. So I'll try to get them back on at some point, but I definitely will be keeping you guys updated, the book and everything else. I hope you guys have a great evening.